Hey, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for being here. It's January 11th, so 1/11/2019. So it's a beautiful sequence of numbers that we have today. First video of the year for me, and I'm here to talk about an energy update, what's coming up for 2019, what's going on with the twin flames, the divine masculine, and mostly energies. Not that I want to stop talking about the twin flames, it's just that the twin flame connection is all about energy and all about mastering the energies and mastering the energies that we have within. There is no possible union until we master our own energies. So that's why I want to put the focus on that for 2019. There are many channels talking about the twin flames. So, but like I said, I'm not going to stop talking about it. I just want to focus more on the energy because this is where the information is the most important to understand. So, first couple of weeks of 2019, and the year started with a major forward movement. And I don't know how your holidays were, but it was pretty rough for a lot of people. At this stage of the game, physical symptoms are highly on the surface. Skin problems, itching, being sensitive, even more sensitive to products, chemical products in creams or in soaps, being sensitive to material, textiles, and skin eruptions. So unfortunately, those wonderful teenage zits may come out. Just know that it's temporary and it's a detox that we are going through at this time. Physical detox. A lot of people are going through the integration of the energies or the spiritual matter into the physical matter. So when that happens, everything is being cleansed out in our body, all the way down to the cellular level. And that explains why we get so tired, why we need to go to bed early, why we need to nap during the day or meditate more. And talking about meditation, very hard to meditate these days, and it has been for the past month or so. No worries, it's going to change, it's going to come back. Basically what happened right at the beginning of 2019 is the switch of the polarities. What that means is that if you used to be more in your divine feminine, you are now more in your divine masculine. And I did mention in my last video that women are going to embrace more their masculine side, and that doesn't mean becoming a tomboy. It means being more into the action. Internally, it might mean forgiving some people or seeing things differently, a change in perception. And I also did mention that the divine masculine would embrace more their feminine side, being more aware of their own energies, being more aware of their own emotions. So it's not really gender-based or based on roles or physical things, but more of a mindset, of an attitude of what we feel inside. This switch of polarities is to bring a better state of balance within in each and every one of us. That's the only way that twin flames can come together in physical union to work on their own missions together. And a lot of twin flames at this time have met or are about to meet a soulmate. The message for that is please do not close the door on this. Allow this person to come into your life and teach you what they need to teach you. They are here for a reason at this time, and it's to help you. And do not question the emotions you may get towards that person. You may feel like you're falling in love, or you may feel very attracted to that person. Do not question that. Just go for it. Do not worry about the twin flame. If that happens, just know that it was divinely planned this way and that everything is in order. And the most important word for 2019 is trust and faith. So by showing the universe that you have trust and faith with your own plan and accepting and allowing that soulmate to come into your life and just, be in your life for a little bit, maybe a few weeks, few months, maybe years. Maybe you're going to stay with that person and everything is good. It was planned this way. Some people will meet soulmates just on a friendship level, and others it's going to be more romantic. Accept it and allow it. Important lessons are there for both yourself and your twin flame. Should you push this soulmate away, well, the lesson is going to be learned, but it's going to take more time, because you're going to have to wait for the next window or the next opportunity to learn it. So just go with the flow and trust the universe in everything that you do, in every thought that you have. Trust that what's going on right now is supposed to be happening at this time. Accepting it is a key to freedom. I mentioned the trust and the faith, and that's really important for the next 6 months until the next eclipse season. And that applies for the twin flame in a special way as well. For people who are reaching out for readings, and I'm not referring to me, but reaching out to people, either to get a twin flame reading or to get some guidance, that's fine. But be careful what kind of questions you're asking. Because at this point, the switch in polarity is asking you to trust in yourself. You are the universe. If you do not trust your intuition and your guidance, you're basically saying to the universe, I don't trust you. I don't trust the plan that you have in store for me, so I'm going to reach out for something outside of myself to get answers and guidance, because I don't trust the messages that I'm getting in my intuition. Intuition is the tool that never fails. If we decide to live our lives on a daily basis with that in mind, it's hard to fail. And I'm tempted to say that it's impossible to fail, because following your intuition may bring you onto paths that you've never saw coming, never thought you would explore. But either way, you're going to come out of it a better person with learning curves or learning phases that you wouldn't have otherwise. Always follow your intuition. In 2019, instead of taking resolutions that nobody holds, when it comes January 1st, people are good at saying, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want. And then three weeks down the road, they're all out. No, adopt a mindset change. Especially if you're a twin flame, it's going to help your twin flame. The divine masculine at this time is switching the perceptions that they have towards themselves, towards the situations they've been in. They are able to heal. They've reached that level of, okay, this was a painful experience when they think about their past or their karmic situation. This was a painful situation, but I'm a changed person now, and I'm a better person now. And that's a great sign that you've really done a great deal of healing. When you look at your past and you don't associate with it anymore. When you look at your past and you're like, it doesn't even feel like it's my life, or it was my life, or I can't believe I went through that. And when you have that detachment towards that situation, this is where the divine masculine is at. And they're opening their hearts more to loving themselves, discovering who they are internally, who they are physically as well, and letting go of their false thought patterns, what some may call the false masculine, of trying to understand, trying to process everything from the mind, and learning to trust their senses. A lot of masculine were not doing that in the past. They were fully run by their head, by their minds, trying to do things because it made sense to do them instead of just following their true calling and their inner calling. That's where they're at. A lot of them, that's where they're at. Some others, maybe at a different level, but they are aiming towards that. So if you are in a connection, a twin flame connection, changing your own mindset, going forward onto your path is going to support the connection, and you're going to feel yourself changing. And you should by now start seeing things differently. What a lot of people have been through during the holidays, that big purge, that big release, that big final 2018 release, that felt like we were dying inside, that felt like, oh my God, am I going to survive this? That felt like, oh, I'm always tired. I don't know what's up with me. It was our nervous system releasing to be able to receive those new energies that the solar eclipse started bringing last week. We're going to be in those energies for the next 6 months until the other eclipse season. So yeah, during the holidays, I know it was hard for a lot of people. The physical symptoms were just through the roof. The skin problems, like I mentioned, sleeping problems, and appetite, like hormonal mostly. Craving sugar, craving carbs, craving coffee, craving stuff that is not so good to eat for our body. At this point, it is a good idea to try to let go of sugar and just eat as balanced as you can. A lot of veggies, a lot of pure, organic food. Grow it if you can, but it's not possible for everyone. But try to see the source of the food that you eat. Don't buy stuff that is that has chemicals in it, or cleanse your vegetables at least. But other than that, lots of water are very important for this detox phase that we're in. We are detoxing our system. And for those who are in the physical detoxing, because the switch of polarities brought people to detox physically and others to detox spiritually. Symptoms may be the same, but when it's physically, sometimes certain symptoms can be more, I'd say, aggravating, like more in your face kind of thing. So drinking a lot of water to make sure that your body is flushing out all those toxins. Drinking tea may be a good idea, perhaps, if you like tea. Otherwise, any kind of infused water that you do at home with ginger, cucumber, lemon, and mint is excellent. Awesome beverage to drink. If I go back to the energies, that switch of polarity is like the most important thing that has happened on top of that big release. And you're going to see yourself changing. You're going to see a lot of things showing up in your life to test you to see how much you want this. And it is important that if you want to be the best version of yourself in this lifetime, you need to choose wisely. You need to recognize when those tests are showing up. Make sure that you consult your inner guidance, your intuition, and act accordingly. Because if you don't, you're going to take the wrong or make the wrong decision, and it's going to take you off your path. And trust me, those tests are real, and they are coming to you in different shapes and forms. It might be through people, through situations. Make sure you read the situation correctly. At this point, it is really important also to understand our inner gifts, our spiritual gifts. If you've been putting it off, you need to do it because you're going to miss the boat. You need to open up those channels where you can receive your own guidance and intuition and connect to your higher self on a daily basis, and that's part of your life. As if hearing those messages is not only the normal thing to do, but like it's always been there kind of thing. Have the intention that you're being restored to your original state, meaning before all those gifts were taken away from us. Everybody has spiritual gifts. In the history of Earth and of mankind, everybody had spiritual gifts. They were taken away somehow, somewhere down in history. By having the intention that you're being restored to your original state, that's going to help you open up those paths. Also, very important to not associate with the collective or the wrong kind of people at this time. If you hang out with people that are very heavy or negative, they're going to have a major effect on you and you're going to start being negative. Have the intention that you are disconnected from the collective and that you are disconnected from any and all sources of negative mirror effect. That's going to help you just being in your own energy and mastering your own energy. Those tests, trust me, they're real. So by being in your own energy, you cannot have interference in your own thoughts. Let me put it this way, you can only have a clear reading of the situation and you'll know, because most of the time the hardest part in opening up our gifts is knowing when it's a guidance and when it's not. And the way to know is when you connect to that feeling that you have inside. If you feel light, if you feel liberated, that's a really good sign that it's true guidance. When you feel heavy, when you feel tension or resistance, it's a good sign that it's not guidance. You should feel relieved when you connect to it and when you receive your answers and you're being shown what to do. It should feel like your problem solved kind of thing. Yeah, this makes sense. A click somewhere. Pieces of the puzzles fitting together. If you don't get that, most probably it's not real guidance. It's interference. And whether we want to admit it or not, we do pick up on all kinds of interferences. On other people's thoughts. On we're stuck. Sorry, it might not be the right word to use, but sometimes that's how it feels, that we're stuck in this system, because I don't want to use it in a very negative way, because life is a wonderful thing and the oneness energy is a wonderful thing, but sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's hard and feeling like we're stuck in a system of negative energy. And we are influenced by that. The telomeres in our body are picking up on all of that, and sometimes it can cloud our own judgment, guidance, or intuition. So by having the intention that you're disconnected, it's going to help you recenter to your own heart, your own energy, your own field. One thing I wanted to talk about as well is the Merkabah. There's the Merkabah cube, but there is also the Merkabah field, and that's what I want to talk about. The Merkabah cube, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. If you go to a crystal shop, they have it, or just Google it. But what I want to talk about is the Merkabah field. It's a field of energy that each and every one of us has. At this point, early on in 2019, and it's going to last all year, those fields are going to be very active. They served in two main ways: protection and expansion. That is also what some people will call the light body. So we're going through an upgrade when it comes to the Merkabah field. If someone is dead asleep, their Merkabah field is not activated. And the way to activate it is up to you. You don't need anyone to activate it for you. You can just sit down, meditate, and have the intention that your Merkabah field is activated. Trust me, you're going to know when it is. You're going to know if it's not, and you're going to know when it activates. There's a shift in your perceptions that happens when you first activate it. You feel lighter. You feel like, oh my God, and you suddenly start feeling connected to everything. You start suddenly feeling like this flow. And that's the unified field. You start feeling the flow of life, the flow of energy, the chi. That's a pretty big subject in 2019. Everybody is getting upgraded. So for those twin flames that are refusing to see their truth, refusing to acknowledge this connection, guess what? It's impossible to do now. Because no matter what you want or what you choose or how you choose to act, this Merkabah field is going to activate no matter what, at level 1. And it's going to keep on growing. And it's going to change people's perception, but especially those twins who have been very stubborn or who have been denying or too afraid. That is all going to change. It is changing, but it's going to keep on changing. So working on your Merkabah field is a good idea. And when it's used as protection, it's fairly simple. You can visualize some form of a shield. The Merkabah field or the cube has different energy points, and when it's fully activated, those points create a field on their own, and they spin, and this entire field spins, and that's how it protects you. You are shielded in that Merkabah field. If you look on Google, you're going to see pictures and you're going to understand. Trying to find the pictures where it is applied to the human body. It's basically two pyramids, one upwards and one downwards. And that field just, I'm tempted to say vibrates, but it's in constant movement. And when we're low on energy, our field is just not moving at a fast rate. And we need to make it move faster. So trying to work on activating your field is a very good idea, because the more aware you are, the better it is. And trust me, those twin flames, they have it coming. 2019 is the year of relationship and love. So if you've been given the opportunity to meet a soulmate right now, be happy about that and be grateful. It's for a good reason, and most probably it applies to your twin flame, or maybe not, but just take it and go right in it with your heart wide open, and take the lessons, because that's what matters. They're there to help you, like I said. I think I mentioned everything that I wanted to talk about. I'll come back for new things to talk about. Thank you for being here. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on my Facebook page at Indigo Girls Readings, using my email indigogirl555@gmail.com, or Instagram at indigogirl555. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy manifestation. And until next time, be well.